In 2012, when we were awarded these contracts, we had one small office in Derby with 6 staff. And I think looking back at that time, we're obviously very pleased with what we've achieved since that. We've expanded into Derby, we've expanded into Nottingham and Mansfield, and we now have helped 18,000 learners within the last 3 years. It was high unemployment, very high redundancy in the area. The East Midlands was massively affected. It was within the top 3 nationally for redundancies. We had a lot of large companies making redundancies. So we had a lot to work with. We had huge numbers of learners coming through that had worked within their areas for such a long time that really needed to diversify and get some employability skills along the way. Our motto still is small enough to care, big enough to make a difference. I think that comes across throughout everything that we do. I think for us to be able to take that challenge on, the Skills Funding Agency put a lot of trust in us, and hopefully we've done them proud.
And we have worked with 37 different partners over the 3-year period, all of them with different subject specialisms, all of them sector specific. So we've got the coverage across the whole of the East Midlands. We wanted to make sure that we had partners with the same mindset as DBC, so they could, they understood DBC as a business, but also they could deliver to meet the needs of local employers, the local community, and also the local job centres.
At JB Skills, we've been working with DBC Training now for around 12 months. We work on the SSR and SSU programmes. We provide this training that guys need to be able to progress into work within the manufacturing production sectors. I think the benefits obviously is the communication between obviously DBC ourselves. We get regular updates where we are on contract performance, on profiles that we've submitted, and how we're performing against the profile. So that's kind of invaluable really to a small organisation when you're trying to manage 7 similar contracts across the country. DBC come out regular and observe our tutors delivering the training, so making sure the trainings are up to the highest of standard, at least grade 2 or above, that the tutors are delivering a good quality training, not just training for training's sake really. The real achievement is where you get the learners in the infancy through the training, you look at their CVs, and when they come out the other side, more motivated, more confident, and then they gain the job. So when you get that text message off the learner to say, yeah, I've got that job, or I've got this interview, I'm over the moon, thanks very much, that's achievement in itself.
The last 3 years we've been working with quite a lot of employers, so both large employers, but also your small employers as well.
The service that they provide for me and multitask personnel are second to none really. When I come, they've always got the great candidates for me, they've always done all the background work, so they've done the photocopying, they've helped them fill in the application forms, if there's any ID that's required, they've found the funding for it, they've got it all ready in the process. So when I come, it's just a case of simply interviewing the candidates. They know all about the job, they've already been trained, and because they've literally been handpicked, I get the better candidates, then I pop them in front of my client and they're happy because they've got the better candidates as well. They're well matched.
I was unemployed for 2 years, and during the first year I started looking for work on my own initiative. A year later I decided I'm not getting particularly anywhere fast, so maybe it's a good idea if I sign up to the job centre, maybe get some proper advice about what to do, where to go and how to do it. And they actually put me onto a course for DBC.
I'm a single mum, I've got 4 children. Me and my partner split up, so I had to apply for job seekers allowance. Came into DBC, seen what they offered, and this was hands down, because I know that signing on is not really doing me, not gaining anything by signing on every day, but coming here I'm actually gaining knowledge, and you know, that's the reason I'm here.
I heard it for a friend. I heard DBC were running a course for demolition, and depending on how you did in the course and if you passed it, you near enough guaranteed a job. So straight away my lights lit up, and I needed to do something, so that seemed like the next door for me.
I'd recently left sixth form. I didn't want to go to university, but I'd only ever had temporary seasonal jobs, and so I wanted to look into getting some more full-time employment, but I needed the skills to do that.
I was going to the job centre and they suggested going to DBC Training. I had been in an admin role before, but I needed the relevant qualifications to get into an admin role, and that's something that DBC offered. It was a case that before I was working as a nursery nurse, so it was a complete career change.
Just recently lost a job, so I signed on from the job centre. They've sent me on a course which will benefit me in the long term run to get a job. I did a week and a half's course at DBC Training. It was pretty nerve-wracking at the time, but because I was going to meet loads of new people, but I benefited it at the same time.
When you have been out of employment for a while, sometimes it does tend to affect your confidence a bit. So I was initially a bit nervous about it, but as soon as I got into the centre, I was introduced to the members of staff, and then I was took in for my appointment. So I was put at ease straight away when I arrived at DBC Training.
The people who train you on the courses, I think they've got like a sixth sense. They know when you need help before you know it. So as soon as you're stuck, they're just there to help you.
I've had a lot of experience where you go into places and people treat you different because you haven't got a job. But I felt I was treated like an individual, a human being who's here, who wants help. And it felt good.
We have exceeded our targets that were originally set on SSU and SSR, which is, you know, we've changed the lives of a lot of people, and not only through getting them back into employment, but with them gaining qualifications. It's a real life-changing programme.
I gained a further qualification and a job. I did a 5-day course, a couple of days, got an interview, and then 5 days later I was on site. I gained a very good reference, to which then I sought further employment again. After 5 months of working with this new company, I've also been promoted to a team leader supervisor at the age of 22, so it's done nothing but push me up and up and up and up. Because failing, if I didn't do that course, I wouldn't have had the reference, and I probably wouldn't have got through that door.
I wouldn't have actually had the opportunity to go for the kind of job I'm in now if it weren't for the help I got from them and the support I got and the information that they gave me about what I needed to do, how I needed to get stuff done as well. It was really helpful. It's made, in fairness, quite a massive change. I was unemployed for 2 years. There was always that moment when I met up with my friends and we were going out for a drink or something like that, and they'd always talk about, you know, how they're doing at work and how things are, and I couldn't really have anything to say about that because I was unemployed at the time. But now that I'm actually working, I do have a job and I'm earning something, I can join in with the conversation. I don't feel like I'm being a bit awkward around them because I've got nothing to say. And of course, I'm able to buy stuff for myself on another note, buy stuff for my partner as well, which is always nice to surprise her a little bit. So it's been really cool being able to do those kinds of things.
My life has improved vastly since doing the course. I'm now in full-time employment, which I don't think I would be if I had not done the training. It's really helped me gain some confidence and skills. I gained qualifications in software-specific courses as well as an OCR typing qualifications, and they've helped me because in my current role I use those pieces of software every day.
Going to DBC was the best decision that I ever made. Even though it was suggested by the job centre, it was, for me personally, brilliant because I'm a lot more confident, I've learnt a lot more skills. Whilst I was there, I got asked if I wanted to apply for an interview for a job that was available within DBC Training. That was something that I was keen on doing, so I applied for that role, and fortunately for me, I got the job. It's been a career change for me, but one that I feel that's, you know, I've adapted to and has suited me well. So I think that I've progressed a lot since my time here.
being a mum of 4 and having to leave uni was quite difficult because I had my path and my goals set. But this has helped me still focus and still have a goal. So I'm still sort of feeling good about it. I mean, at one point when I didn't have DBC, I was, what am I going to do with myself? What am I doing? I'm signing on. I felt useless, if that makes sense. But now I know that I'm still doing things to make my life a better place. I learnt so much. I learnt a lot, and I was actually shocked doing a master's. Hey, I should know everything, but I didn't. There was so much they taught me, and you know, it's something I value, and I know it's going to make a difference to my future as well.
Well, what I gained out of it, most and foremost, was the actual job, which is I've already been promoted already, and that's just with 10 months working, and that's from Akil and just DBC itself, just like giving me an opportunity and just thinking, Jacob, we're going to get this out of you.
We have a lot to be proud of. We've helped over 17,000 learners within the East Midlands. We've really focused, we've worked with lots of large employers. I think the biggest success for me is being able to react to demand. So if Job Centre Plus have come to us and said, we have a cohort of learners that need this, we've been able to react to that demand. If there's been a really large redundancy in the area and we've had 24 hours notice, we've gone, we've attended, and we've worked through with individuals that are obviously highly emotional, quite distraught, and we've been able to work through with those, and we have some great success from that. Our staff really care, so every single learner that comes into a DBC centre or one of our partners actually hopefully gets an exceptional experience. They get one-to-one support, they're made to feel welcome. They're not just a number to us, they are a face and a name and an individual. And I think the thank yous and successes we've had throughout this programme reflect that.